Yeah, how do you say that? Scrotes?
How you say it? I don't even know if I'm saying that shit right. Oh, this fucking guy.
Wait, don't go in there. He's doing his podcast.
Something like that. Yeah, we were supposed to drop another episode on Friday, but my ass went to the Mets game, almost died because it was freezing cold, but it was fun nonetheless. So yeah, we're here, we're back. We got some NBA playoffs, some NFL stuffs. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 early reviews are out. Yeah, so let's get it poppin'. How's your week? How's your couple days been, X? It's been a while.
Oh, fully rested.
Working hard in the gym?
Something like that.
I got you. This is just chilling, maxing and relaxing like always. Bossing and tossing. Yeah, so we were supposed to drop an episode on Friday. I was invited to a Mets game. They lost, but it was still fun, entertaining game. Yeah, so some stuff's happened. Cavaliers, they swept.
Nothing new here.
Nothing new at all.
I heard the Knicks was the last team to beat LeBron in the first round.
Really?
But going back to his Heat days, I may be wrong, but
Didn't we get swept?
no, I remember we beat the year after
Was
we beat. That's when J.R. Smith did that ridiculous. Yeah, win a game. That's what I meant. Yeah, J.R. Smith did that dunk or some shit.
But that was the same series with the pick. With the
I
Tyson
believe
Chandler
so.
pick.
I believe so.
Yeah.
The Knicks were the last team to beat LeBron to win a game against LeBron in the first round.
Wow. Knowing is half the battle. All you Nick haters out there.
If my memory serves correct.
Could be right. Wait, didn't Philly? No, Philly gave them a run, but they got swept. I remember it was that year that Philly had Thaddeus Young and all that.
Yeah.
And they gave them a run, but they still got swept. See, you may be right.
The NBA can't afford to have LeBron to lose in the first round.
Who cares? Anyways, we all knew that was happening. On some more important things, we have a series between the Raptors and the Bucks, which is tied.
Ooh, yippee.
Yeah. No, but here's where the Bucks win my heart and affection, and at least in this playoffs. So during the Raptors, I think it's during their lineup announcement or whatever.
Yeah.
The Bucks they play the Barney theme song.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing they've been trolling them.
Yo, that is great, man. Whoever thought of that, that's just how you do it. I mean, whatever. Again, this first round.
It's funny though. It's funny.
Yeah, that's honestly the most entertainment outside of the next thing I'm gonna get into. But yeah, that's been the most entertaining thing that I've seen in the entire playoffs. I mean, there honestly hasn't even been any highlights. Nothing no wow moments. Not even LeBron. LeBron hasn't even done anything spectacular.
This is just a tune-up. this is just all tune-up for the Cavs.
Right. So yeah, so we got the series tied.
And the coach easily to the finals.
Yep. It's funny. We talk about this basketball stuff. If people actually are listening to us daily, they're tuning in, waiting to hear what we gotta say. It's all good. We love the 5 people that are listening.
Shout out. Yeah, the 5 people that are listening.
Hopefully we push it up to 6, maybe 10. Record-breaking numbers. All right. So the next series is the Wizards and Hawks, and they're playing today. That'll be the 4th game in the series. But right now the Wizards lead 2-1. And there's little beef between Morris and Millsap, I think it is.
Morris, who doesn't have beef with Morris?
I don't know, man. But it's nice to see people talking shit. You know, like not just like.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. It's good. Not that soft
Too bad it's
patty cake shit that goes on.
Yeah, and this surprised me. I didn't even know this happened. On to the next series, Spurs and Grizzlies. It's tied.
Yeah, well, Kawhi Leonard almost did his thing though.
I know they lost the first game in Memphis. I remember that. That's when the crowd stood behind Fizdale. That was pretty cool. That was like, see, that's a dope sports moment. Like, you know, you think you're gonna get swept. The odds are stacked all against Memphis. And even before the series started, I felt like Memphis could go toe to toe with the Spurs. I knew they would lose, but I figured they could take 2 games, maybe even push it to 7. But after the first 2 games, it's like, nah. But yeah, and then that after Fizdale had that rant about the refs and all that, the crowd, the Memphis crowd, stood behind him, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's tied. I didn't know.
I mean, you know what? I'm glad he's saying all those things about the ref, and he shouldn't be the only one.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, look at Jimmy Butler. Look at his stats in the last game. He was 17 for 23 from the free throw line. Like, it's crazy because if you think about it, that's 23 free throw shots. I guess you would divide that by 2.
You know, I haven't seen the game, but I'm sure Jimmy Butler wasn't the only one going into the hole like that, and didn't get the same treatment. So
yeah, it's so one-sided. Like, I always refer to this, and this is probably because I mean this is the only thing I could really contest for, and you can contest for because we watch almost all the games for the most part. When you watch a Knicks game, like even at home, they could be playing the shittiest team, and it seems like the other guys are going to the free throw line like crazy, and it's just
yeah, you see, I don't mind if the referee plays it loose or keep it tight. I don't mind that as long as they do it both ways.
yeah, not like dudes getting pushed on our end, but then with ticky tack, they call it ticky tack fouls on the other end.
And they respond to the flopping and all that. That's just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, either call it both ways or don't call it at all. Like if one team's gonna shoot 40 free throws, the other team should shoot 40 free throws, or just not at all. Like there's got to be a balance, and then
There's a bias in the
course.
system. There's a bias. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what anybody tells me. There's a bias in the system.
yeah, it's so unfair because like we're watching. We want to see the players. We don't want to see the refs. We want to see we want to see these guys, their skill come
If
to.
anybody remembers how '90s basketball were, now people they go to the line with like bruises, no
Uh-huh.
problem.
Yep.
But now today's NBA, everybody saw.
Yeah.
Everybody saw. So
It's a damn shame. And then, alright, the next series we got the Warriors and the Blazers. Warriors lead 3-0. Is there anything we really need to say about that?
no, next.
Well, I did hear some shit about Steve Kerr.
What do you do?
I was hearing today that he had that procedure, that operation or
Oh
something.
yeah,
a couple
he
years
didn't
back.
coach a game because his
Yeah.
health issues.
It supposedly is kind of like creeping up on him, and is a possibility that he might not coach for the rest of the playoffs. It's a small possibility. I think that's maybe just the media reaching.
Well, that
But-
sucks.
Yeah, that would suck. The only good thing about it is they do have a system. I mean, Luke Walton was technically the coach during during that run they had last year. So, not taking anything away from Kerr, it's just that they have a system that was implemented, and I think anybody with half a brain can keep it going. But and they do have Mike Brown as their assistant coach, and Mike Brown's not a bad coach at all. And you know what? I would like to see him. I don't want to see anything happen to Kerr because he's a real stand-up dude, and he's a really good coach. But if something did happen to him, I would love to see Mike Brown step in and run the tables on everybody, because especially it would be so awesome and bittersweet to see the Warriors and Cavs go at it in the finals, and Mike Brown be the coach of the Warriors, and the Warriors beat the Cavs. Like that would be such a that'd be great. But I mean, not that I'm wishing anything on Kerr. I'm just saying if that happened. But yes, that's 3-0. The next series is the Rockets and Thunder. Rockets lead 3-1. Surprise! I thought it was gonna be a lot closer, but it goes to show you how far one man can get you.
Yep.
And it's a shame. They were not shitting on Westbrook at all, but these guys got to step up. I mean, you got capable players, and it's not to say it's not to say that like Westbrook doesn't make them better, because obviously when he's on the court, it's just that these guys got to step up. Like you got to step up, but whatever. I don't like. Yeah, it is what it is. The next series is the Celtics and Bulls. This one is tied at 2-2. Celtics Bulls won the first two, and the Celtics took the second two. And it was funny because there was an altercation between Smart and Butler. And Butler was saying some shit like he's a
great actor.
Yeah, he's like that. He's not about that life.
Marcus Smart, he does more flopping than anything else on that court. So I can't, like I said, with the whole flopping thing. That's all he does on the court, and it's not even. He over exaggerates.
Yo, do you see do you see Knick players flopping?
No.
Like, and this is not us being biased.
Not that I remember.
Like, I can't recall one person.
Today's Knicks, not
Like,
that I remember.
I've
Nope.
never seen Melo ever flop. And that's just me being real. Like, not because I'm a Knicks fan. Even when he was in Denver, I never seen him flop. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me. But
Then again, Melo shouldn't. He's already a big guy. As even if he's flopping,
hey, LeBron is a big guy
yeah,
too.
and he flops, and the referee loves that. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody can pull up some footage of Melo flopping, okay. But till then, say what you want about him, the dude don't flop. I don't even really see Westbrook flop like that. Like,
Westbrook goes full speed,
he's just-
so
yeah,
if
no-
he's getting hit, I expect him to be flying.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, he goes at it like with vigor. So
that dude go from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, nah, man.
Yeah.
If he's colliding, two people are flying.
But back to the Celtics and Bulls, like it's crazy because, all right, we all thought that the Celtics would have probably been the ones on top and running the tables and looking like they're gonna sweep or take it in 5, but the Bulls won the first two, and it's really crazy because you could say what you want about some of his years in the league, but Rajon Rondo not being on that team, that seems to be the problem. Cause
Clearly.
yeah, cause they were looking very good with him on the team. He was looking almost like the kind of like the Boston Rondo, just doing what he had to do. He has Wade, he has Butler, he has guys he could defer to. Obviously, he's not going to be a guy that's scoring like crazy, but yeah, now that he's gone, like, you really see the difference in games. It's crazy, but yeah, so that's tied. I don't know what's gonna happen in that series anymore. And the last game is the Clippers and Jazz, and guess what? That's tied too. Jazz
Yay.
won. Jazz won the other day. Your boy Joe Jesus showed up, killing it actually over there. Like, he's on the bench and he's putting up numbers, and that.
You're talking about Calderon?
No, they're calling him Joe Jesus now.
Who?
Joe Johnson.
Joe John? They call him Joe Jesus?
The coach called him Joe Jesus.
Nah, man. That's Calderon. I ain't. Oh, but yeah, Joe Johnson's alright, but he ain't no Joe Jesus.
Are you tired of the same daily troll? Well, get on over to Blitz and Chance! We got one game. We got a whole bunch of games here. We got Chabos and Flobos and You can shoot things. Get over here. Play the game. Use your flurbows to get tickets. Roy, too, just got here. Get over here at Chips and Chits. It's the coolest place in the world. I get to be in the commercial.
All right, we're back. So, you had something to say, X?
Now, for the whole Joe Jesus thing, is just that since I'm a Knicks fan and all, and Jose Calderon was on the Knicks stinking it up, we sarcastically called him Joe Jesus. So for those who don't know the whole inside joke to that, yeah, we called Jose Calderon Joe Jesus. But, Jose Calderon, he ain't all that, but...
Knowing is half the battle, guys.
Yes.
All right, so on to our next topic. We
So
have...
you can put the stones down.
Yeah, on to our next topic. We have the NFL schedules were released, and us as New Yorkers, we got the Jets and the Giants schedule. So right now I'm trying to pull that up. From what I've seen from the Giants schedule, that shit looks like it's gonna be fucking tough. But let's see. Alright, I got the schedule right here. Let me make sure. No, it's preseason. Okay, regular season. All right, so the Jets season looks like this. They have the first game they open up at Buffalo playing the Bills, then they go to Oakland to play the Raiders.
The Jets always in Oakland. Oakland is never.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like
It's
they rarely
every schedule the Jets always have to be in Oakland.
Yeah.
What is up with that shit?
It's funny actually. The Giants play the Raiders too, and I got to see where they're gonna be at. But yes, you guys open up at Buffalo, at Oakland, and you come back to New York to play the Dolphins. Then the Jaguars come. Then you go to Cleveland to play the Browns. Come back for the Patriots. Go back to Miami. Play the Falcons at MetLife. Buffalo Bills at MetLife. You go to Tampa Bay. Then you have a bye. Then you play the Panthers. Then the Chiefs. And the Broncos in Denver. Saints in New Orleans. Chargers and New England. And honestly, I mean, I don't know how the quarterback situation is going to be, but from the all right, you have the game against Buffalo. That's a division game. It can go either way. The Oakland game, if Oakland plays anywhere near the way they played last year, that'll be tough. But then you have Miami, though. That's a division game. It's Miami, and you're home. So as long as it's not raining, you guys should be good. Because, Miami seems to be, unstoppable in the rain. But then you play Jacksonville, Cleveland. It's not bad right there. That's the kind of schedule you want going...
Jets are rebuilding, so this schedule is bad for the Jets. But I
it
ain't
is?
mad.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well,
so Jets basically are going 2-14 with 2 wins against the Patriots.
Damn. Well, hey. Well, see, because my thing is like this. My thing is like this, right? You got... you got that 3-week stretch where you play Miami, Jacksonville, and Cleveland. Now, in my eyes, that's a big part of the schedule because those are all they're winnable games.
Mm-hmm.
So going into the Patriots game, even if you were to lose to the Patriots, if you win those 3 games,
we're still in there.
Yeah, because the first 5 games outside of Oakland,
Because the Miami is definitely beatable.
yeah.
Falcons, that's like a death wish right there. Buffalo again, beatable. Buccaneers, beatable. Panthers, nah. Chiefs, nah. Jets, Denver, nah. Jets, Saints, nah. Chargers, depending on the situation, and Patriots, Jets. I want the Jets to win, but realistically, hell no.
So what are you looking at an early? This is very early, so our predictions could change.
It could go 5-11.
5? Damn.
I say 5-11, and that's for a rebuilding team. That's all right, I guess.
Oh yeah, 'cause I forgot. Marshall's gone.
Marshall's gone. Reeves is gone. Nick Mangold's gone.
Oh.
Everybody. All the key players are gone.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know it was that bad. I forgot that Marshall came to the Giants, but I didn't realize it was that bad. Well,
I'm gonna miss that dude.
But you know,
Although he didn't do nothing last season, but I'm still gonna miss him. But hey, we got Quincy and Unwa. He was rising up, and Robbie Anderson. He's another one who's due for a breakout. And plus, we got that second round pick who didn't play last year, Devin Smith.
Mhm.
We're still waiting on the verdict for him. Jets really doesn't have, they with the old draft, they don't draft so well. Other than Sheldon Richardson and Mohamed Wilkinson and Darrell Reeves. Those are and Nick Mangold.
they've had
Good
some
drafts.
good draft picks.
They
but
got
it's just,
good draft
it's not
picks, but-
consistent.
But I remember the whole Vernon Golston, yeah. Oh, God. Guy never got a sack until year 3. What kind
Yeah.
of bullshit is that?
Yeah, that sucks. So 5-11, you say?
I say 5-11.
Shit. All right.
If you go if you go 6-10, it's asking for too much.
Damn. Well, all right. So let's see. Now on to the Giants' schedule. Now, like I was saying before, I peeped it on Friday or whatever the hell it was released, and shit don't look easy, man. All right. So we open up at Dallas, fucking every year now. This is an every year thing. Now, I'm gonna run through the schedule and then I'm gonna break it down. So we open up at Dallas, come back to New York, play the Lions, play the Eagles next week on the road, Buccaneers on the road, Chargers at home, Broncos on the road, Seahawks at home, Rams at home, 49ers on the road, Chiefs at home, Redskins on the road, Oakland on the road, Cowboys at home, Eagles at home, Cardinals on the road, and Washington at home. Now, the most fucked up thing about that schedule is it's like East-West, East-West, East-West. Even though for an Eastern Conference team going back and forth to the West, it usually doesn't, it really doesn't hurt them because when they go out to the West, it's already later. So it's not like a Western Conference team or Western team coming to the East to play an early game. That's where shit gets fucked up because for them it's like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So see the thing about Dallas, like I usually split going into predictions because it's a division team, but after the way the Giants played the Cowboys last year, the Giants were the only 2 losses in the Cowboys record, which is pretty crazy. But yes, I don't know. The first one, it's tough. Like the Cowboys are at their stadium, but that's not a place you're afraid to play at. You know, like you go to Pittsburgh, you go to Oakland, or a team like Seattle. You go to their stadium. Those teams are tough to play at.
They got Dak nasty, son.
Well, hey, Dak did his thing, but when it came to the Giants, it's like,
Oh no, now he knows.
yeah,
Now he knows.
I don't know. That's a tough game. It's a tough game to pick.
It's just funny how everybody's all gushing over top quarterbacks and Prescott was like what 4th round pick.
Yeah.
And nobody even looked his way and everything, and look what happened. See, that's why these quarterback draft is just an open. It's just like a crapshoot, basically.
Yeah, I mean sometimes you get a guy that's like number 1 or 1st round pick and he fans out. but-
Alex Smith is like he had like 5 bad years, and finally
Yeah.
it's a crapshoot with this whole quarterback thing.
Yeah. Because you have a rarity like Big Ben, who came in and produced right away. Eli Manning they threw him to the wolves the first season, but he sort of started getting better.
He had like 2 bad years before he.
Yeah, it was like he was okay. It wasn't like but it still took him time. But it was better to do that. Like Ben Roethlisberger He was one of the few guys. You just throw him in there, and he
Well, he had a line when he first got in.
yeah. The Giants. It was more that they had because they were under a different coach. What? No, were they under?
Giants, they were under
I don't remember if
Wasn't they under
if it was Fossil
Fossil?
first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Fossil,
yeah.
and then but I don't remember the timeline when Eli came in, but I know, like, I'm trying to remember if yeah I think it was Fossil that came in and I guess it was his last year on the team or some shit like that. I forget, but anywho, yeah, quarterbacks it's a crazy situation. So, but with Dak Prescott, I mean he's a hell of a quarterback. I'll admit that, even as a Giants fan. But I don't know. I don't know how to call that game. Lions is a win. They could be a good team. They but I just when it's a win. They're over here. Philly. Now that's Philly's the only team in the entire NFL. And I'm not being unrealistic. I'm not being super cocky. I'm not one of those arrogant fans. But I feel like Philly could be 0-100, and the Giants could be the best team for fucking 20 years. And that's that one team. They could have a college roster. That's that one team that Giants. If I feel like if the Giants could beat the getting past Philly is like winning it all. Like you had that one year where we went to the playoffs, and me and Chris were talking about it earlier, where that was the year that like Plaxico shot himself and everything. That year, even after losing Plaxico, we had to play Philly in the playoffs. And I said if Giants beat Philly, they go into the Super Bowl. They lost to Philly.
Out of there.
And you know what happened?
What?
Philly lost the next round. They beat us for nothing. But anyway, so that should be a tough game. But I don't know. Like, let me see. Damn, it's tough. I'm gonna be an asshole and say Giants beat the Cowboys. Giants beat the Lions. Giants beat the Eagles. Just because of the team they have now. Giants beat the Bucks. The Chargers. They're gonna beat the Chargers. Damn, I'm gonna be an asshole and say they go undefeated until they play Seahawks. Because it's really a toss-up thing. Like, if their defense plays the way they played last year, like, unlike the Jets, the Giants are not in rebuild mode. The only thing they need to do is solidify their offensive line. And they picked up a guy from Minnesota who's, like, a very underrated blocker. I forget his name. I was talking about it with a friend of mine a couple weeks back. I didn't even know much about him, but he was telling me that guy's pretty solid. So yeah, that's all they really need to do, solidify their line, and they'll be good. But then the thing is, even if the Giants don't have the best running game, they have somebody like Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at a lot of like the Patriots, the Giants. I'm trying to think of other teams, but there's teams that they utilize the passing game as Peyton Manning's teams. They utilize the passing game as a running game. So the short passing game becomes
the
a
dink and
substitute.
dunks and all that bullshit.
Yeah, and you're protecting the quarterback, and if you don't have the best line, or if you don't have a good running back, you can substitute that. You can mask that. So like if the Giants line is not 200%, you can kind of make teams forget that because you're so quick with dinking the ball, and with somebody like Marshall, and then you have Odell Beckham, who Odell Beckham was killing it as the number one receiver. Now you could take so much pressure off of him, and then you got a guy like Sterling Shepard who is going to reap the benefits of both those guys being on the field, because everybody's going to be paying attention to them, and this dude's going to come out of nowhere. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to give my predictions now, but I just like see the difference between the Jets and the Giants is the Jets are rebuilding, the Giants aren't. So the Giants should win these games. They should be in position to go 10-6, 11-5. I mean, they play the AFC West. That's going to be tough. They got the Raiders towards the end of the year, and that might be a big game for both teams. Because Dallas, if last year was any consolation, they're going to be in it this year. Washington, do they still have this dude as a quarterback, or they traded him?
What was it? Cousins?
Cousins.
Cousins. I don't know.
Chris, is Cousins still on the
I think
Redskins?
he's-
What?
Cousins is still on the Redskins, right?
Kirk
Cut-
Cousins, yeah.
Okay, because I remember there was some kind of thing of them
There
moving
was- yeah,
him to
there
some
was-
shit.
there
Why
was-
did he
They-
go to San Francisco, but they're not trading? He signed his Sunday.
Yeah, like that would be so stupid. Like you have a guy like him, like he's been the best, like the bright spot on that team. And you're gonna go and shit on him. Like that's why that franchise is so fucking shit, because they have potential to be in it every year. They've got a solid defense for the most part, most of the time. But they have weapons. They have decent running backs. They got guys that could catch the ball.
It's the ghost of RG3, man.
Dude, even before him, it's like they've been.
RG3 was their beacon of hope.
Oh yeah, if he would have stood healthy, that guy, he would have been a problem. And just think about it, I would have had, the Giants had to face him twice a year.
That guy is a damn shame.
And even Carson Wentz on the Eagles, like that whole NFC East, like that shit is unfair. Like how they split
So
up.
is Sam Bradford still there?
Oh, Sam Bradford, is he still there? No, he went to Minnesota.
Oh, they traded him.
They traded him to Minnesota last year. Yeah, he was doing good on that team until he got hurt again.
Well, I don't even know why they did. So the Eagles, they gave him all that money, right? They gave him all. Then they traded him, right?
I forget the
I
situation.
think they re-signed him or some shit like that.
I forget the situation, but it was some stupid shit, and I think, but I think,
I remember being in a weird situation.
but I think they got like a top pick for him. They got Minnesota's first round pick for him,
Ew.
or some crazy shit like that.
Wow, it's first round pick.
For Bradford,
Yo, they don't even trade stars for first round picks.
no, for Bradford. But the fucked up part was at the beginning of the season, the Minnesota's defense was playing like, I mean, probably one of the best defenses I've seen in a long time. Giants were victim to that shit. And Bradford he had AP. Oh no, wait, did they have AP last year? Oh, he came in later on.
Yeah, he did.
I forget, but anyways, they were playing so well. Like Sam Bradford didn't have to do much, and then he got hurt.
Yo, it's first round. You know what pick gets you a star player these days? This guy's taking a chug off of some Gatorade.
Some Gatorade. I mean, at best you're giving a second round, third round pick. I don't see like nobody.
They
gets
don't
a
even.
first
They
round
don't,
pick.
they don't. You could barely get a third round pick.
Yeah,
You-
it's
you
like
could-
third,
freaking
fourth.
got Brandon Marshall for 5th round.
Wow.
Well, they believe it's the highest, but yo, fourth round, unless you're gonna give a 4th and 5th or whatever,
Well,
that'll
you-
get. But
well, you
third
think about
rounds,
it,
those
not for
first and second rounds, those are gold picks. You gotta keep those.
Yeah, no, for a receiver, like I'm not giving up a high pick like that. Like even it's hard because
But
even
who-
if you
who
could get
keep
like
up
an
a
AP
high-
in
who
his
you keep up a
prime.
high pick for? I mean, like a top 5 pick could. I mean, a top 5 pick. I mean, I understand like how people don't even want to keep those because they trade down and get more picks. More picks in the NFL. That's like, yo, that's a good thing. The more the pick, the better. I
Yeah, you
don't-
can have like
even-
10 fifth round
I
picks
would-
and
I
that's
would-
still good.
I would take 3 second-round picks over a top 5 pick any day.
No, you're right because you know what sucks about the top 5 when you get that top 5 pick, it's pressure.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't become who do you want. It's who's the best player available.
Exactly.
And then if you pass up on that player, that's all you're gonna hear. Like remember when the Houston Texans they drafted Mario Williams,
Yeah.
and the first year everybody's like, oh, you made a mistake. Look at how that changed
Mm-hmm.
because before he started getting hurt, and before the rest of the other defense, the rest of their defense got hurt. I mean, that shit started to look like it was one of those things where like, yeah, at first you fucked up, but the draft shouldn't be about picking the most high profile player. It should be about picking the best player for you. Now, if you're the worst team in the NFL, you need a quarterback, and that the best quarterback in college is available. That's different. But if you have like, say if the Giants right now they had a top 5 pick,
Mm-hmm.
like, you put yourself in a position because like, do you have to draft a fucking quarterback?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like top 5 pick unless there's a pick in that position that is a player that you need. Like it fills the need in that position.
Yeah, if you just happen to
And-
be bad and that player is the player you need, yeah.
Yeah, or if you need like say a right tackle and there's a right tackle in the top 5 and you got that, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But
if you're-
it's
if
it's
you
rarely
have-
like that though.
Yeah, like, but if you're like, say like a team like Jacksonville who has now Blake Bortles, who is supposed to be their guy, and then they happen to have a top 5 pick and the best player available is a quarterback, then, I mean, that's dumb when you already have a quarterback that
Yeah.
you're, because the thing is, you could bring in that new quarterback, but look at your team. You have to stick with the guys. I mean,
Yeah, it's the top 5 pick and is. I mean, I'd rather trade down and get more picks.
yeah, like,
I would trade. Hell, I'll trade down to like the 20s and get like and be in the next round with like for 2 second rounds in the late first. I'll take that any day.
yeah. I mean, you go back to like the Giants in San Diego when they drafted Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning. That was different because they both needed quarterbacks,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But when you're like trying to think of another example, because there's teams out there that had the quarterback, and they drafted a quarterback. So now,
The Jets was about to do that right on Thursday. They drafted a quarterback in the second round, and rumors going out like, this guy suck. Now they gotta draft I mean, I'm cool with that. If you honestly believe that quarterback suck, I'd rather you like fix it right away and then be like, yeah, he sucked, and he still try to ride it out and like that, whatever.
yeah, I mean, hey, look, if their goal is set to draft a quarterback because they don't think their current quarterbacks are good, then yeah, go for it. But if you're gonna if your plan is to stick with whatever quarterback that is, or at least give him a shot, and that's not your need, and you're gonna go and draft a quarterback, then
Yeah.
it just it puts the wrong kind of pressure, because then yeah, you wasted a draft pick, but then what about all the other pieces you're missing? Because yeah, you can get a quarterback, but where's your next guy to step up to be the next Brandon Marshall? Who's gonna be your next Mangold? You know, it's funny too, because I was always opposed to drafting linemen in the first round, but when you look at your quarterback and you think of the situation, that makes the
Depends
most
on the
sense.
position.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially if you need it, because like I was like, yeah, the Giants, they do need linemen, but we need a linebacker. But the thing is, you look at the teams like the Patriots, the Colts. Remember when Peyton Manning got hurt?
Yeah.
That they had that bad year, but then they drafted Andrew Luck. Why was Andrew Luck so successful? Because they had that same line from the Peyton Manning era.
True.
So it makes it easier for the next guy to come on in. Like, why have the Patriots been successful in any of the games that Tom Brady was absent in? Because they still have an offensive line to protect the next quarterback. Denver, when that year that Peyton Manning was hurt, they still had an offensive line to protect him. That's why Osweiler was able to come in, and yeah,
The Osweiler situation,
that's interesting.
he got traded, right?
Yeah, he's in
He
the
got
Browns
traded
now.
to the Browns.
Yeah, and you know what? I think
And you know what's funny? There's rumors saying that the Browns are still trying to draft a quarterback.
yeah, well, right now
Even
what
with
they're saying is
Osweiler's money,
Yeah.
that he.
what they're saying is that him and whoever are gonna battle it out.
Okay, and the funny thing is that, Denver gave a second round pick, I believe, right?
I don't even know the situation, but my thing is this: I think he got the short end of the stick. Like, he had a bad year last year. There's no denying that. But if you're paying a guy that much money,
You gotta let it ride out.
let him. Because the thing is, it could have been one bad year. Now he goes to a team that he's probably not
Gotta
going to
learn
do
a
good at all.
new system again. And
Yes.
yeah.
That's another thing too. He went from the Broncos to with really no experience to a whole different team. And now he's on the Browns. So like, you're expecting him to be this Tom Brady kind of savior.
And Browns is like a graveyard for quarterbacks too. So
Yeah, and this is the team that drafted five fucking receivers or some shit like that
Yeah.
in the first 2 rounds or some shit. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you have so many other needs. Dude, if I was them, I would have drafted a bunch of defensive players. Because you look at Houston. Houston, even with their injuries, they're still one of the better defenses in the league. As bad as their offense could be, their defenses kept them with J.J. Watt and Cushing and all those guys. Like, even with J.J. Watt out last year, they still made the playoffs.
Oh, it wasn't the Broncos it was the Texans that gave him up.
Well, the Broncos originally had him.
Yeah,
but then
it was, and he went to
he
the Texans.
signed with
yeah,
the Texans,
the
and
Texans
then they
that
traded
gave him
him.
up to the second round pick. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and that, I mean, hey, yo, the Brown. I guess. Oh, well, also too, the Browns have a lot of picks, but
Dude.
even still, a second round pick. But I guess best case scenario, they got a quarterback that hopefully can ball, fill around him. I mean, I don't know, but they're treating him.
They got so many picks, and the quarterback is not really one of their needs.
They're treating him like he's just gonna come up and stink the place up. And for somebody that you gave up a second round pick for and is making X amount of money, like, I still think they should have kept him one more year over there. But I don't know what Houston's gonna do without him, or with whoever they have.
Houston just gave up a second round pick.
Man, they could have used
Wow,
that shit.
they were so desperate to let him go. That was just desperation.
You know what's funny? That's like a New York move right there.
That's exactly a New York move.
Yep. But whatever. I'm glad it's not my problem. Like, you know, I got whatever. Yeah, it's not my problem.
Now I should be grateful for my team, right? Yeah.
Right? At least you don't have that situation. You don't have a guy that's making, I don't know, what was it, 70 million, 100 million, and I'm not convinced that he's bad. I really can't. I mean, the numbers don't lie. He had a horrible year last year. He threw a lot of interceptions. I don't know. Like, if he stood in Denver, would the year be the same?
Nope, I don't think so.
Whatever.
Who's Denver got right? Peyton Lynch?
Paxton Lynch and Simeon. Trevor Simeon. Both those guys are alright, but that team's not the same either. I mean, but whatever. Anywho, on to the next topic. We got a long time to talk about football. Oh wait, but the draft is Thursday, so
Yeah.
I didn't even realize how fast this shit. Dude, it's already almost May.
I am excited for the draft. I am very excited, actually.
Yeah, they got the Giants drafting a linebacker. Who they got you drafting in the first round? You said a quarterback.
They say a quarterback. They say a tight end. They say running back. They say a cornerback, a safety. You see, that's how much holes the freaking Jets got.
Well, I see. There's a lot of they were talking about that this year might be one of the best running back groups. So we'll see. But
Yeah, so that's the case. Then we don't have to draft a running back at a 6th spot.
nah.
Because I always feel a running back is easy to replace.
I mean, yeah, it depends because it's all about the system. I mean, it's hard to find those Marshawn Lynches and APs and LTs and all that. It's hard to find guys like that. But in this day and age, it's a multi-back system. As if you have an offensive line, you could mix it up. There's offensive lines in the league that have made guys that went to other teams look like gods, you know, and then they go to the next team and it's just like, where were you?
Yeah.
It was DeMarco Murray. He had a decent year in where's he in?
Titans.
Tennessee. Yeah, he had a good year in Tennessee. I mean, he went to Philly, but that was a whole mess over there because the system wasn't built for his running style.
Same with LaShawn McCoy.
Well, LaShawn McCoy he was always good in Philly.
Yeah, he would. Then he went to another.
He went to Buffalo.
And
He did all right there. I think there was
Yeah,
injuries too.
yeah.
And your boy, what's his name? Actually, no, he wasn't the problem. Rex Ryan. But he got fired, right?
Yep. He's doing the TV thing now.
Okay, yeah. I don't see him doing anything more than a defensive coordinator like his brother.
Yeah, he had a shot.
That's it.
He,
Out of here.
He had it.
Well, didn't he brought you guys to the
AFC twice, but it was the offensive coordinator, and that choked away.
knowing is half the battle.
At least that's what I feel.
Yeah.
'Cause his system is just that he goes by the ground and pound, and there are times where you're going to have to throw the ball, and he was very reluctant to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I personally liked him. Just the fact that there was things that he didn't do.
See,
Like I liked his personality.
I like this personality
Yeah.
too, but the thing is, the whole ground and pound thing is like, dude, that's all good if you're up by like 20.
Yeah.
You can't keep teams in the game no more. They could score in like 10 seconds these days. You can't keep them in the game.
That's the problem the Giants had with their former offensive coordinator. Was it Gilbride? He was good, but he was too conservative, way too conservative, and
I'm not a fan of that. You have to step on their necks and keep.
That's
digging
why
in.
anybody that gets mad at like teams like the Patriots, like putting up crazy numbers and shit, even when they quote unquote shouldn't be, dude, you cannot play around because
I don't really understand that, especially in the NBA when it's like, yo, you're paid to play the whole freaking game.
Yeah.
All right, so.
I mean, in the NBA, if you're or in any sport in general, when you have the ball with the last possession, there's no need to score, and you score. That's kind of fucked up. But but whatever. But yeah, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up by 17, there's no reason not to fucking put up more points. I mean, you
Exactly.
want
A fumble could automatically like change momentum.
I mean,
and
do
all
people
that.
not remember that Colts and Dolphins game?
It's
Dude, the Colts had the ball for like less than a quarter. Maybe they had the ball for like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes the most.
See.
The Dolphins had it for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I wish my team would just run up the score and like that. Even if you're up by like 25 with 6 minutes left, that's too close to me.
Yeah.
Especially for a New York Jets team, that's
Exactly.
too close.
Or as a matter of fact, do you remember the famous Giants and Panthers game? That's where Odell and Norman got into that scuffle. They were up like 31-7 or some shit like that. I remember turning off the game at one point. I think it was maybe 31-14, some shit in the fourth quarter, and I turned off the game because there was a possession where we were driving and then we fumbled. I was like, it's over. All of a sudden, I look on the app and they're only down by like 2 touchdowns, and they're down by 1 touchdown, and then they tied it up. I'm like, so the case in point, you gotta.
Yeah, shit happens in the thing, bro. That's why you can't be keeping people in the game. And even the Jets offensive coordinator back in Paul Hackett, same thing, was conservative. Like yo, you just can't keep people in the game. You just can't be settling on field goals and all that.
Settling on field goals is the worst, man. It is the worst.
Especially when you have Ryan Fitzpatrick on your team. He's like, when he gets in the red zone, it's automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Especially last season. Oh God.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a long way. Draft is coming up, so.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, something that's coming up, and I'm surprised at how fucking soon it's coming up. We got like 2 weeks. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is coming out. And
What day exactly?
May 5th.
May 5th? That's next week.
Yes. Well, we got this weekend. Yeah, so it's this weekend, then next weekend. But like they got reviews up now for it.
Yeah, I see.
And
Oh, so May 5th is going to be a pretty cool day. There's Prey coming out and Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, snap.
damn.
Are you going to the city for that?
Guardians? I don't know. Probably not. I want to, but we'll see. But I mean, I'm still excited to see it. Like I don't watch the entire reviews. I don't read all the reviews. I just there's two things that I usually watch on YouTube, but I'll skip right to the very end just to see their rating or whatever, because I'm just curious. I wasn't expecting much out of this. They're saying it's a filler, so, and we were kind of talking about that maybe a day or a couple days or weeks ago, or whatever. We were talking about that. Is it going to be a filler? And
Basically, yeah.
yeah. So, but if it's a good quality filler, I still don't think Iron Man 2 is bad by any means. People give it shit like it's a horrible movie. It's really not.
It was all right.
It
It was good.
If that was the first movie, nobody would be complaining, and it was way better than the third movie. But I mean,
Yeah. wasn't feeling the third movie.
Yeah, there's a lot more movies I'm excited for this coming out this year. Guardians was definitely on the top of my list, but it never was like Star Wars level excitement for me. Even the first one, like the first one, I was hyped for it, but it wasn't like
I'm just hyped for that Spider-Man.
yeah, Spider-Man and Wonder Woman. Oh, Alien Covenant is coming out. That I'm excited for. But,
That's also in May.
yeah, that's 19th or something like that. But so what are your expectations for Guardians?
It's typical Marvel movie. It's going to be fun. That's basically this. It's going to be fun.
I'm really more curious because of the fact that I mean, obviously, it's an investment. It's one of those things where you could skip out on it, but then you'd probably be missing a lot, unless you're one of those people that you go on the internet and check out spoilers there. But
Well, I haven't seen the movie though, but from what I've this is good. Does it have anything to do with anything leading into the Infinity War?
I don't think the actual plot of the movie
Because I felt the first movie did, and
yeah, because it was pretty much Thanos.
Yeah,
like,
and you're gonna do it again.
no, I think this is just the only thing we're gonna get are like the end credit scenes and nods and tidbits and maybe cameos to bigger things, but yeah, it's not gonna be like because the first one, yeah, it was really Thanos. He hires Ronan, and those two guys are huge in the whole Infinity War thing. But I mean, yeah, like as long as it's fun, as long as it's an entertaining time. I mean, I haven't seen a bad movie this year, as far as the big movies. Well, the theater movies. Everything I saw, I thoroughly enjoyed. Ghost in the Shell was really good. Power Rangers was great. Logan was great. Kong was great. Split was great. Get Out was great. So, it's a pretty good track record so far. I was hoping it keeps up, but I'm excited for it. I'm not too, like X just said, Spider-Man. That's what we're really looking forward to. But yeah. But yeah, so then we do have Alien Covenant coming out in a couple weeks. So that's gonna be Dope City. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you. I'm trying. What else comes out this month? We got that.
There's always a big Memorial Day weekend movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's not Alien, right?
No, that's
I doubt it. That's not Pirates of the Caribbean either.
It might be Pirates. Let's see. Because we've got Guardians coming out.
It's usually a PG-13 movie, so
Yeah, it might be Pirates, I think.
the only R-rated Memorial Day movie that was successful was The Hangover, I believe.
Yeah. Let's see. Alien Covenant comes out the 19th. Oh, Baywatch, but nobody gives a fuck about Baywatch.
I don't.
Baywatch and Pirates coming out on the same weekend. What do you think's gonna take the box office?
Yep.
Don't get out of here, man.
No, because of chicks.
No.
Oreo,
No. What are you talking about? No. You're talking about something else and you're talking about Oreos. What's wrong with you? But anyways, no, but kids will want to see Pirates. I mean, it's not really a kid movie, but it's a kid-friendly movie, so
exactly.
and it's an established franchise. I mean, Baywatch, it was an established franchise, but there are gonna be fucking girls like, oh my god, Zac Efron, The Rock, yay! But whatever. Yep, I don't care. I'm not watching it. Simple as that. I'm not gonna go into a big rant about how much I hate the movie when I didn't see it and I don't give a shit about it. Merry Christmas, thank you. X don't care.
No, I don't really care.
X don't care about nothing.
But powers that be, I might just somehow see it.
Yeah, some chicks gonna be like, hey boo.
Well, no, but
I
just might end up seeing it.
I mean, hey, you can do that, but honestly, for me, that's some shit Netflix at best. I don't even think I pay to rent it. Like usually, I'll rent movies, but nah. I didn't pay for Terminator Genesis. I'm not paying for this. So, anywho, this has been another episode of Successfully Failing, the podcast. We will be back at you guys tomorrow with some more NBA news, some more. Oh, wait, I knew I forgot something. The Rangers won their first series. Yeehaw! No, seriously, congratulations to the New York Rangers for taking the first series in the playoffs. Hopefully they continue. I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but it is nice to see the Rangers going deep. And as long as the Ducks go deep, that's all that matters, because they may be the Anaheim Ducks now, but in my heart, they are the Mighty Ducks. They will always be the Mighty Ducks.
Quack.
Yeah,
The flying bee.
I don't
What do
give
y'all
a f-
youngins know about that?
I don't give a fuck about the movie. More so just the jersey and the animated series.
Man.
Yo, that animated series was fire.
The best of the Mighty Ducks was D2. The Mighty Ducks, man.
Man, you ain't even a hockey fan.
The D. Well, I'm a fan of the Mighty Ducks, the movies.
Wait, D what?
D. Shut up.
Got him! Yo, peace out.